I never thought I'd be the type of person who'd be jealous of an ex. I mean, I'm secure in my relationship. And I trust my husband. But when he casually mentioned that his ex-wife would be joining us for Christmas, I felt a knot tighten in my stomach. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and tell us where you are listening. Your support means everything. It was a normal Tuesday evening. We were sitting on the couch, both of us tired after a long day at work. He was flipping through the TV channels, while I scrolled mindlessly through my phone. We were in the middle of planning our holiday festivities when he dropped the bomb. "Oh, by the way," he said, not even looking up from the screen, "I invited Megan to Christmas dinner this year." I froze. The word Megan sent a sharp pang through my chest. Megan was his ex-wife, and they'd been divorced for nearly 5 years. They had 2 kids together, and I always tried to keep things cordial with her. But being invited to a holiday dinner, that felt like a bit much. Wait, what? I looked up, trying to keep my voice steady. "You invited Megan ... to Christmas dinner?" "Yeah, I thought it'd be nice. The kids will be here, and it's easier if we all get along. You know, for their sake." I couldn't hide the incredulity in my tone. "You invited your ex-wife to Christmas dinner? And you didn't think to mention that to me until now?" He shrugged, finally looking over at me. "I didn't think it was a big deal. She's family too. It's just one day." "I don't know, Mark," I said, feeling the heat rise in my chest. "I'm not exactly thrilled about the idea. It's not just one day to me. You can't just spring something like this on me." He let out a sigh, clearly irritated. "You're overthinking it. It'll be fine. We're all adults, and the kids will be happy. It's Christmas. It's about family." There it was. The family card. He always played that one when he knew I was starting to feel uncomfortable. But it wasn't just about being comfortable. It was about boundaries, respect, and the fact that we hadn't talked about this in advance. "I'm not overthinking it," I said quietly. "I just think it's a little weird. And honestly, I'm a little hurt that you didn't discuss it with me first." Mark's face softened, and I saw the conflict in his eyes. He knew he'd made a misstep, but he didn't want to admit it. "Look, I get it. I should have mentioned it earlier. But can you try to understand? It's about the kids. It's not like we're going to sit around and reminisce about old times." I nodded slowly, but I didn't feel much better. The thought of spending Christmas with his ex-someone, who was still a part of his life in such an intimate way, didn't sit well with me. It wasn't just that I was jealous. It was that I felt like an afterthought in this scenario. He and I were building our own life together, and yet it felt like his past kept creeping in. That night, I lay awake for hours, staring at the ceiling, replaying our conversation over and over in my mind. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being pushed aside for someone who, in my mind, no longer had a place in our lives, certainly not at our Christmas dinner the next morning. I woke up with a decision in my mind. I had to do something. Something to reclaim my space, my right to feel respected in my own home. So, I did what I thought was best in the moment. I sent Megan an invitation of my own. The next few days were a blur of frantic planning. I called up my best friend, Jenna, to talk things through. "You did what?" She gasped when I told her my plan. "I invited her," I said, pacing in the kitchen. "I invited Megan to come to Christmas dinner too. Not just Mark and his ex-wife. She's my family now. She deserves to be a part of this too." Jenna's response was immediate. "Are you out of your mind?" I know, I said, laughing nervously. "It's not that I don't trust Mark. It's that I'm not about to sit around, pretending everything's fine while I watch his ex-wife waltz into my home and get special treatment. This is my holiday too." Jenna was quiet for a moment, and then she said, "I get it. But this is going to get messy. Are you prepared for the fallout? I wasn't sure. The truth was, I had no idea what I was doing. But I felt an overwhelming sense of urgency. Like, if I didn't take control of this situation, I'd lose something important. My peace of mind, my confidence, my role in this family. The thought of Christmas being hijacked by them was unbearable. I'll figure it out, I said, even though I wasn't sure what that looked like. When Mark came home that evening, I handed him the phone with Megan's text open on the screen. Megan's coming to Christmas, I said, my voice flat. His eyes went wide. What the hell is this? Why did you invite her? I crossed my arms, standing my ground. You invited your ex-wife. I invited mine. Are you serious right now? Mark's voice was laced with disbelief. You're playing some kind of game, right? Because this feels childish. No, I said firmly. This isn't a game. You invited your ex to Christmas. I'm inviting mine. I'm not going to let this be all about her while I sit on the sidelines. Mark stood frozen for a moment, clearly torn between anger and shock. You can't just do this, you know? This isn't normal. I don't care, I said. It's what I'm doing. Deal with it. What followed was a whirlwind of texts, awkward calls, and an uncomfortable conversation with Mark that night. In the end, Megan did show up on Christmas Day along with my ex James. The house was a little chaotic. At first, there was this weird, palpable tension. I won't lie, it was awkward. But what happened next was unexpected. Megan and James actually hit it off. They were both funny, easygoing, and seemed to genuinely enjoy each other's company. What started as an uncomfortable dinner slowly transformed into a warm, surprisingly fun evening. By the end of the night, Mark and I had a quiet moment alone. He looked at me, a mix of admiration and disbelief in his eyes. Well, he said, I never thought I'd see the day my ex and your ex would be best friends. I laughed, feeling a sense of relief wash over me. Yeah, me neither. But honestly, I think it worked out. Mark smiled, his hand finding mine. I didn't expect this. But you've got a way of making things work. We both laughed, and for the first time in a while, I felt like we were a team. This Christmas wasn't about competing with exes or about old wounds. It was about moving forward, accepting the messiness, and making the best of it. And somehow, through it all, we found a way to make it work. The following year, we invited both of our exes again. And this time, it didn't feel strange at all. Christmas, after all, is about family, no matter how complicated that family might be.